Welcome to Young Lives Lost, Gone But Not Forgotten, a series focused on young lives cut tragically short. In America, a child is shot every hour and hundreds die. These are their stories. This is the story of 15-year-old Daylon Day Burnett. Daylon Day Burnett hummed a beat as he held both arms out above the water, snapping his fingers and wiggling his hips. "Ready?" asked his younger brother Desmond. "Ready, set," they said in unison, closing their eyes, plunging their noses, and dipping towards the pool's surface. Except Daylon, then 13, stopped short and opened his eyes. Keeping his head just above water, the boys were competing in a breath-holding contest, and a gritting Daylon had decided to guarantee victory. "Don't say nothing," he whispered to his mother, Lakeisha Lee, who was filming the rules from the pool's edge. 20 seconds later, just as Desmond emerged, Daylon went under. His younger brother tapped him on the head, conceding defeat. Lee couldn't stop herself. "You know what Day did?" she blurted, prompting smiles and splashes between her sons. Daylon knew how to make each of his 6 younger siblings laugh. To them, he was as much a parent as a brother, rustling the kids out of bed and helping them get dressed, making pancakes and eggs before they caught the bus. On Wednesdays, family karaoke night at their home in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, he was almost always the first one up, insisting that his brothers and sisters join him. For Desmond, who would be shy, Daylon served as a hype man, pointing and dancing, mouthing the words, and offering high fives. He also looked out for him at Watson Chapel Junior High, the school they both attended. Desmond admired his big brother, a thick-shouldered linebacker who wanted to play professional football, but who also joined the school's junior ROTC program, determined to escape Pine Bluff. That was until a chilly morning in late winter when a 15-year-old Daylon New walked up to him in the hallway and raised a gun. Desmond watched the boy pull the trigger, sending a round into his brother's head. He called their mother as the shooter fled. "Mama, you need to get to the school," the 8th grader shouted. "I'm standing in Day's blood." The March 1st attack of 2021 had come at the end of hope for Daylon. He'd gotten in some trouble as a teen and spent time in juvenile detention, but he made real progress at school after switching from virtual classes to in-person learning. 2 weeks before the shooting, the principal called Lee to tell her Daylon had worked hard to get his grades up. None of it would matter. Soon after Daylon reached the hospital, doctors told Lee her son wouldn't survive. The bullet had done too much damage to his brain. 2 days later, on March 3rd, he was taken off life support. Lee climbed into the hospital bed, holding her son until his heart stopped beating. When she told her 11-year-old son that Daylon was gone, he punched the wall so hard that his wrist broke.
In their whole class period, when he got ready to change to his next class, somebody else decided my son's fate.
The mother of the student shot at school in Pine Bluff now talking 24 hours after her son passed away from his injuries.
15-year-old Daylon Burnett died Wednesday evening at Children's Hospital. His mother is speaking exclusively with Fox 16's Mitch McCoy about what happened at that school in the hallway earlier this week. Mitch.
Donna and Kevin, hello. She learned of the shooting from a phone call with her younger son, Daylon's little brother. Tonight, mom revealing a friendship between Daylon and the alleged shooter. Just a warning, some of the details in this report may be difficult to hear.
He had to wait for his clothes to dry.
Monday morning started with a dash of laundry. 15-year-old Daylon Burnett running late for class at Watson Chapel Junior High.
My husband took him to school.
Lakeisha Lee, Daylon's mom, says it was 20 minutes after Daylon, a 9th grader, got to school.
My 13-year-old son called me and said he watched his brother fall to the ground because he had been shot.
She didn't believe it.
His little brother. He said, "Mama, I'm serious. I'm walking through his blood right now."
A normal 5-minute drive to school. Lakeisha rushed there in only 2. She says details were difficult to get. Then she saw Daylon being rushed out by paramedics, a medical helicopter waiting to bring him to Little Rock.
You would think the school would be my son's safe haven.
Mom says he had a bright smile and was a star athlete.
He's gonna make you laugh whether you want to or not.
Lakeisha says Daylon and the alleged shooter,
They were good friends.
15-year-old Thomas Quarles, now facing charges as an adult.
For you to plan out and actually act out on your plans on how you would get rid of my son, actually come to school.
Lakeisha says the two had some kind of argument and says Quarles had been looking for Daylon earlier that morning.
He had been asking kids, have you saw Daylon? Y'all haven't saw Daylon yet?
Now she wants answers, not just from the school district, but from Pine Bluff Police.
He didn't deserve this. He done nothing wrong.
Why did God take my brother away? Lee recalled him asking one day. God needed him more than us, she replied. Why, Mom? I don't know. None of them struggled more than Desmond, the brother who watched it all, who came home with bloodstains on his white Air Force One sneakers. She and her husband moved the kids away from Pine Bluff, hoping to start over, but no one in the family, especially Desmond, escaped the trauma. One night, Lee heard him get up at 3 a.m. When she checked on him, he told her that his mind would stop replaying the shooting at their school, the place where he and his brother were supposed to be safe.
Now, students at Watson Chapel Junior High will be back in the classroom tomorrow, this after going through virtual classes for the last 2 days.
Our Alexis Wainwright continues to follow the latest. She joins us live with more on that. Alexis.
Well, Donna and Kevin, it's a lot of mixed emotions around this. Some parents say it's just too soon.
When you hear about a school shooting, you think of like what happened in Florida, California, but little small Pine Bluff, with a population of about 43,000 people. And I think it's something that have caught us off guard.
Thursday will mark the first day back to class for students at Watson Chapel Junior High in Pine Bluff after a school shooting that left a student in serious condition. The big question, how are parents feeling about sending their children back to school just days later?
I'm still a little skeptical, but I know that as a parent, a lot of times we have to let our child go. Sometimes it takes young people longer to cope with the situation.
We spoke with Travis Harden and his son Monday when Harden shared details about the chilling moments when shots rang out. How are you feeling about going back to school in person?
Kind of good, like okay. A little bit nervous.
We talked with the superintendent who says there will be an on-command station with police. Does that make you feel any better about sending your child back to school?
You know, it do make me feel better, but, you know, also I tell my son, because I'm retired military, I always try to tell him, be aware of your situation, what's going on around you.
As everyone tries to move forward, Harden says he's leaning on his spirituality.
This is not the time for us to be divided. We need to come together. We need to pray for the young man that was shot, pray for the young man that actually did the shooting, because right now, these young people, they need us.
And within the last hour and a half, I spoke with another parent on the phone who says she's uncomfortable just thinking about her child being back here in school tomorrow. In the meantime, Harden says he hopes that Pine Bluff can have more programs in the future to help students who are going through something. Reporting live tonight in Pine Bluff, Alexis Wainwright, Fox 16 News.
15-year-old Thomas Quarles was initially charged as an adult with first-degree battery with the bond set at $1 million. It has since been upgraded to capital murder. Rest in peace, Daylon Burnett. Gone but not forgotten.